Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. So last week something finally happened, so Silksong was finally released. People have been waiting for this game for years, and 2 weeks ago they finally announced a release date, and then 1 week after they finally released the game. It came out on September 4th and already is a massive hit. It has already sold over 5 million copies, so this is definitely a massive game. Not just massive for indie games, but for pretty much any game. Selling 5 million copies is an insane amount. And last week I also made this video, titled Game Devs Don't Be Afraid of Hollow Knight Silksong. Here I talked about how some developers were basically scared about Silksong and they decided to delay their release date. And basically what I talked about in the video is basically don't be afraid of that. Unless you are making a game on the exact same genre, and unless you are doing that, then chances are you don't need to delay your release date. The gaming market is insanely massive. There are something like 600 million players in the entire world. And even though Silksong is absolutely massive, as long as you are not competing on the exact same genre, chances are there's more than enough players to both play Silksong and other players to play many other genres that don't really care about Silksong. So that was my advice, basically don't be afraid of these super massive games, because if you are on a different genre, chances are you are not competing for the same pool of players. However, a lot of people actually pushed back on that advice, so that video got quite a bunch of negative comments and a bunch more dislikes than usual. Although to be fair, it's on 94.6 when the usual average is 97-98%, so not necessarily that much. But still, there were some interesting comments very much disagreeing with that advice. And over here on this channel, I try to give advice on things that have worked for me or things that I have learned myself. My goal is to help you on your own game dev journey. So I will give advice based on my own experience and things that I've learned, but that doesn't mean that I'm 100% correct. That's part of the reason why I try to read through every single comment every single day. If I'm wrong about something, I do want to know about it. So all of these comments very much disagreeing with my advice. This one saying it's objectively bad advice, how Silksong is sucking the oxygen out of the room. This one saying how it may work for other games, just not for Silksong. This one saying how it's an obvious downside and you should skip your release date. This one saying how it's a terrible take, it is just wrong. Then someone saying there is a lot of overlap in the player base. So yep, I basically want to put my own advice to the test. So it's now been 1 week since the game is released. So I went ahead and I researched the Steam new release page. I went by to the date where Silksong came out. I checked the days both before and after it to try to see, okay, did Silksong actually manage to basically destroy every other game? Or did other games still manage to find success despite the fact that Silksong came out? I don't really care about being right or wrong, I just want to find out the best way of making games, the best way to give you the better odds for finding success. So I did a bunch of research and here's what I found out. And to try to figure out was the game actually successful despite Silksong or not, to try to figure that out, there's actually some nice data we can use. I made this nice video a while ago, it's titled How to Make a $50,000 Game. And over here I basically reverse engineer some metrics in order to figure out what we need to make in order to make a 50k game. So in this video I basically reverse engineered some numbers. So we can start off with the number of wishlists, and based on those number of wishlists we can calculate how many sales we should expect on week 1. And then on the other side on Steam over here we can see the number of reviews, and by multiplying those reviews by a certain amount, using what is called as the box slider method, using that we can basically guesstimate how many copies the game has sold. So using that we can go ahead and go through a bunch of these games and try to see the number of wishlists they had before release, and 1 week after did they sell as many copies as was expected, or if Silksong was indeed a massive hit, did all of these manage to sell much fewer than they were expected. Now naturally I can't check really every single game, there are literally hundreds of games coming out on Steam every single day, and most of these have no reviews, which is the usual thing for Steam. Very few games actually manage to sell a decent amount of copies. So really just focus on trying to see were there successful games that came out around the same time as Silksong. And the answer is yep, there were. Starting off with one that is very clearly not on the same genre as Silksong. So here is NBA 2K26. So this one came out on the 5th of September. So literally just 1 day after Silksong. And since this one is actually a yearly iteration, we can actually compare with last year's game. Here is NBA 2K25 and we can go down and try to see how many reviews it got on the first release. And over here we can see, so on the first week it got about 2,400 reviews. And over here for NBA 2K26 we can go down and see. And if this one also got pretty much exactly the same number, 2,400 reviews. So here's a game on a completely different genre, and like I said in my advice, as long as you are not on the exact same genre, chances are it won't affect you, and it really does not seem to have affected this game at all. Or for something less AAA-like, so here we have Metal Eden. So this one came out on the 2nd of September, so just 2 days before Silksong. And we can look over here on SteamDB, we can find the number of followers, and using the number of followers we can guesstimate the number of wishlists that the game has. So before release, the game had about 10,000 followers, meaning it had about 100,000 wishlists. And the stats that I covered in this video is how, in general, on the first week, you can expect to sell, let's say, 15 to 20% of your wishlists. So if this game, Metal Eden, managed to launch with around 100,000 wishlists, then we can do 100,000 times 0.15, and we can expect to sell about 15,000 copies on week 1. So now we can do the other side, so we can look at the number of reviews. So we can take 485 reviews and multiply it by a multiplier, and the general multiplier is anywhere between 20 and 70. It's definitely a wide range, but as a guesstimate, I like to use 40. So if I multiply this by 40, there you go, 19,000 copies. So it does seem that this game sold on week 1 basically as much as was expected based on the wishlist count. Again, this one is not a Metroidvania, this one is very much a 3D boomer shooter, so very much not on the same genre as Silksong, And because of that, it does not seem that Silksong has affected at all. So players that want to play these kinds of games, chances are it's not the same pool of players that want to play Silksong. Here's another example, Kimono Tea Time. So this one is a simulation adventure emotional game. So again, definitely not in the same genre as Silksong. Here on the wishlist count, we can see, okay, so it launched with, let's say, about 5,000 followers, so about 50,000 wishlists. So with 50,000 times 0.15, we would expect 7.5 thousand copies sold on week 1. And if you look at numbers, 322 reviews times 40. And if it sold about 12,000 copies, so again, pretty much within the same range. So again, Silksong also seems to not have hurt this game despite launching literally on the day before. Then here's another one. So this is Hell Is Us. This one is a single-player, third-person shooter, something like that. Again, very different genre from Silksong, so chances are it appeals to a very different type of player. This one launched with, let's see, so it launched with about 50,000 followers, so about 500,000 wishlists. So we take 500, 1, 2, 3 times 0.15. We would expect to sell 75,000 copies on week 1. This one has 1,000 reviews. So yep, 1,000 times 40, so sold probably around 40,000 copies. So yep, definitely less than the 75k expected. But given the relatively high price point, I would say that it probably still matches. Here's an example of an indie game. So this is a $12 game. It's titled Bad Cheese. And again, very much nothing to do with Silksong. Very, very different type of game. So here we can see that this one launched with, let's say, around 25,000 wishlists. So 25, 1, 2, 3 times 0.15. We would expect to sell about 4,000 copies at launch. This one has 265 reviews. So 265 times 40. Yep, probably sold around 10,000 copies. So again, a game on a completely separate genre, absolutely nothing to do with Silksong, and launching at right around the same time, it still managed to find the amount of success or more success than it was expected. So one more example, here is Overlooting. This one is inventory management, dungeon crawler. It's a roguelite, very different from Silksong. This one launched with around 12,000 wishlists. So 12,000 times 0.15, we'd expect to sell about 2,000 copies. This one thankfully did quite well with very positive reviews, so 500 reviews. So 564 times 40, and it probably sold around 20,000 copies. So based on these examples, I would say that it seems like my advice is indeed correct. How you should not be afraid of Silksong, or when I say Silksong, I say literally any other massive game. As long as you are not on the exact same genre, chances are it will not affect you. So if you're making a game and some super popular game decides to launch on the same day as yours, as long as you are not on the same genre, then I would say just keep your release date, because chances are the massive amount of players that exist are going to be more than enough to fit players that want to play that genre and players that want to play your genre. And specifically talking about Metroidvanias only, so for this, there were actually a few that launched around Silksong. So there's one called Other Skin, there's one called Adventure of Samsara. These came out on basically the same date as Silksong, and one called Cat and Out, it came out basically 1 week after. And this one, Other Skin, this one's very much a Metroidvania, but still very much a 3D third-person shooter, so I don't think it's exactly on the same genre. But this one over here does seem to be very much on exactly the same thing. It's a 2D game, it's a side-scroller. So yep, let's see, did Silksong actually hurt this game or not? It seems that it did not manage to find success. It only has about 20 reviews in 1 week. So that means it sold just a couple hundred copies. So was that because of Silksong or not? Like I said, since it's on the same genre, it probably didn't help. So if I was the developer of this game, I would have delayed it, just because, again, exact same genre. And looking over here at the wishlist charts, and this actually has a very strange wishlist graph. So it was completely flat with just about 1,000 wishlists until May, and then suddenly skyrocketed in the last weeks. And apparently launched with about 15,000 wishlists, which is definitely a very good amount. And compared to that, 20 reviews definitely very much underperformed. So perhaps this one was indeed negatively impacted by Silksong. And this other one, Cat and Out, so this one also only has 43 reviews. This one is also very much a side-scroller, 2D. It seems a bit more action, but still very much roughly on the same player base as Silksong. In terms of wishlists, this one did have about 25,000 wishlists. And compared to that, getting just 40 reviews, which likely means 40 times 40, probably only sold about 1,000 copies. So compared to that, I would say this one probably underperformed, again, possibly because of Silksong. But like we saw in all the other examples, as long as you are not on the exact same genre as that super popular game, chances are it won't affect you. So if a popular game decides to launch on the same day as your game, if so, then I would say don't worry about that. The amount of players on the entirety of Steam are millions and millions of players, so chances are there are going to be players to play your game in your genre, and whatever popular game comes out on a different genre. So up here, I very much just want to verify my own advice. I always want to make sure that the advice that I'm giving is the best advice that I can give you. And based on the stats that I saw in this video, I would say the advice that I gave on the previous video, I would say that very much still tracks. But yep, I still want to say thank you to everyone who posted comments. Like I said, I'm always interested in hearing different viewpoints. If I'm wrong about something, I do want to know about it. So thanks to all these people who post these comments. I'm always trying to learn myself, and these kinds of comments, they do help me stay on track. So based on this, now hopefully you have some better info for how to decide your release plans for your games. And if you want to learn how to make games, then check out my free complete courses. If you want to learn the super valuable C# language itself, then check out my free C# course. It covers everything from the language from beginner to advanced, or if you prefer learning how to make a game itself, you can watch my free Kitchen Chaos course. That one will teach you how to make a really awesome 3D game. Or alternatively, I just recently released my free Lunar 2D course, so this is a great beginner 2D course. Alternatively, for multiplayer, you can check out my free course on making a simple multiplayer game, or if you're more advanced, then check out my Dots course. This is definitely very advanced stuff, but if you are an intermediate user, then Dots is an insanely powerful tool that I really think you should know. So yep, check out all of those with a link in the description. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.